So I did apply to CRNA school. It was in Puerto Rico. Hey guys, it's Noreen. Thank you for making it to my channel, All Things Noreen, where I talk about my lifestyle, fitness, and nursing. And today I want to talk about my experience as a CRNA student and when I went to school for CRNA school. So because I know some of you guys have been asking about this in my experience. So it was actually a really long time ago. It was during the pandemic, like 2020. So I'm gonna try to do the best that I can. Okay, so I did apply to CRNA school. It was in Puerto Rico. It was Inter-American University. There's 3 schools in Puerto Rico. I have friends that went to all 3. 2 of my friends did not speak Spanish, but they did well. One of them, he spoke Spanish, so he obviously did well. You do not have to speak Spanish to go to these programs, okay? Anybody can get accepted. There was a few students, just a handful, that in my program that did not speak Spanish, but they were fine. Obviously, I did not complete the program because I knew I didn't want to be in a hospital, so I stopped that program. But my other 2 friends, or the other students that were in my program, they did fine. Okay, so first things first, I want to say applying to the school, I remember I had to write an essay, the typical essay, why you want to be a CRNA, talk about your background, your experience. Of course, you need your ICU experience. That school that I went to, Inter-American, you had to take the GRE, but you didn't need like an amazing score like those other schools do. But I had a pretty good GRE score because I did take some GRE courses, so my GRE was good. That school did not require CCRN, but I had my CCRN, so your CCRN is definitely a boost for your application as far as that Puerto Rico program. And the program was very cheap. You can really pay for it out of pocket with cash. So that was the things I remember. Obviously, you have to have a good GPA. You have to send your transcripts over and things like that. You have to have the experience and things like that. As far as the interview process went, I had an interview with it was like a panel. It was like a Zoom interview. But it was like they was just looking for who you are as a person, why you want to be our CRNA. They were like looking at your application as a whole, which is why I really like their program. So then I got accepted, and then the application process, no, not the application process, it was getting the license in Puerto Rico. That's when it was crazy. Okay, they were like asking for obviously your birth certificate, all these things. Like I had to really dig deep for some of this stuff. They needed to like a sealed envelope from like your college, like to make sure you went to a legit nursing school. Like transcript, like the transcript sealed, like I don't know if it changed now because again this was 2020, but it was a lot. So I had to do that, and then I wasn't even there, like I wasn't even in my state no more, so it was a little bit more difficult. But so there was that, and so you have to get like a health certificate in Puerto Rico. You have to get obviously a nursing license in Puerto Rico, but you can do like nursing endorsement. And so really you're supposed to go there and do all this stuff in person. They wanted your health record, like your vaccines from when you were a baby, like all sorts of stuff. But I never went to Puerto Rico to do this stuff. I actually had a liaison, which I don't have her contact anymore. I don't know if she's doing this anymore. So I actually had a friend that was already in Puerto Rico who went through the process before me. So she was able to guide me to let me know like what to do and all that stuff. So the liaison, you pay her to do all this stuff in Puerto Rico, okay? I mean, you're obviously paying her good money because she's running around doing all this stuff for you. But that's pretty much how I got my Puerto Rico nursing license. So you have to get your license and a health certificate, basically saying you're healthy and all that stuff. And then the actual program. So how their program was, in the summer, you had to take like an advanced health assessment. So typically you would go to the island, but since this was during the pandemic, I did not have to go to the island. We took our semester online. Well, we took this class online that semester, and it was your typical health assessment, okay? And how it was so your lectures, the PowerPoints were in English, okay? The textbook is in English. It's that Nego How CRNA textbook. It was in English. And then, but the professor was lecturing in Spanish. They might sprinkle some English there, but it was in Spanish. So you were really kind of teaching yourself the stuff. It wasn't impossible. It wasn't, okay, I'm not gonna lie. It was difficult. But the health assessment was easy. It was more when it got to those other complicated classes like patho and pharm. That's when it was like, okay. But it's definitely doable. I will also say that that program was very welcoming. Like, they did not make you feel like an outcast. They did not make you feel like an outsider or anything like that. Like, they were definitely helpful, and I would definitely recommend that program to anybody who wants to do CRNA school. So that was the advanced health assessment. Then when it got to those other classes, when it got a little difficult, like I was taking advanced farm, advanced patho. Everybody knows those are like the worst classes you could possibly take. We had to take like biochem. And I can't really remember what else I had to take. Maybe that was it. I don't know, but it was a lot. Like, it was a lot. I was struggling. For me, I think the hardest was the farm. Like, just remembering all those anesthesia meds and stuff like that. Like, I was struggling. Like, I passed, but I was struggling. So, and then you already know, but CRNA school, you have to put in the work because this is a rigorous program in general. So, like, you still have to put in the work. And then I remember we had that, I don't know, that Q bank, test bank thing that comes with the program. You have access to that test bank where you're doing those questions and stuff throughout the program. I thought that was very helpful, very beneficial. Things that I remember that helped me in the program though was making those flashcards, like making the flashcards on Quizlet. I found that very helpful. So I would definitely recommend you do that if that's something you want to do in that program. So yeah, I basically just did those 2 semesters. The pandemic came. I had to decide if I wanted to continue the program or not, but I just knew I just did not want to be in a hospital. Like, I just didn't want to be, I don't want to work in a hospital. That's just me personally. But if that's something you want to do, I highly recommend that you go to school in Puerto Rico, because and it's very cost efficient. You're not gonna come out that program broke, drowning in loans. Like, you're gonna come out that program good. If you take out loans, it'll be only a little bit because the program is not expensive. But I definitely recommend that program. If you guys want to be a CRNA, I 100% recommend that program. That's really all I could remember. It was a really long time ago, like, for real. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe and comment. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I will answer those questions for you. And thank you guys for watching.